Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
I think the message tonight was, can't go 3 goals down in this league tonight and expect to come back with it.
No, listen, Lee, I think that tonight's a perfect example of, my frustration. There's no change of tactics, nothing, just an eagerness to compete and play the right way. Anybody who didn't switch off the webcast after 20 minutes saw a completely different hockey team. And certainly, whether it's not showing up for the entirety of the first period, not showing up for the last 10 minutes in Sheffield, the list goes on. So it's finding a way to play for 60 minutes, and I think that's what really has, I've already used the word frustrated, because you can see, in the second period, we dominated that hockey game, clawed our way back into a hockey game where we simply spotted a team who wanted it more. And credit to Nottingham, they came out, they were skating, but anybody who was watching that game saw us. It looked like we were going through the motions in a training session or something,
You called that time out after the second Nottingham goal. What was the message to the team at that point?
Well, pull your finger out and start playing the right way. But it didn't really take hold. We had a time to sit down and discuss it in between the first and the second. All of a sudden, that compete level was back. That we saw for more than 40 minutes in Sheffield. And I think that, if I was sitting here and we weren't good enough and we weren't getting quality scoring opportunities, I think we're having a hard time burying the puck right now. But it wasn't like we're dumping the puck in and turning it over. We're entering the zone confidently. Guys were getting excellent scoring opportunities, but the offense we just don't have that finish right now. So when you spot a team 3 goals, you have to expect it's a long road back.
You're missing Greg Chase tonight for the first time. What's the situation with him?
Yeah, he has a moderate leg injury that he doesn't feel comfortable with. The medical team's assessed him and thinks that a short break will do him a world of good. So obviously it's a loss for us. But player safety is extremely important to us, and we have to make sure that these guys feel comfortable and confident going out on the ice.
It's slightly frustrating for you that we've waited so long for this full roster to come in, and then we've not really been able to use it due to injuries over the last few weeks.
Oh, I think that happens. I think we were just probably more fortunate not to drop bodies when we were shorthanded at the start of the season. We managed to stay healthy almost until we got a full roster. I think that, but when you play hard, probably for big parts of the start of the season, once again, we weren't competing at times in games, and you probably don't get hurt as much when you're not physically engaging. Anytime we're physical out there, anytime the guys are firmly engaged, we're in every single hockey game. As soon as we switched off, we become substandard.
I kind of look back to, there was that period we had in November, we were putting wins together. How do we get back to that form that we had?
Well, that's a good question. I think, for us, and we've addressed this multiple times, and it's really just simple things, right? Like just playing the right way and sticking to the game plan. For the first period here, anytime we were in Nottingham zone, anybody who was watching saw that all 3 guys were down below the hash marks. The defense were kind of left high and dry. They weren't. They didn't have any help in, coming back into our zone. They were outnumbered. We were giving odd man rushes up, and then it just leads to extended zone time. And when guys are not physical and standing 5-10 feet off guys, you see what happened in the first shift. They skated right around the outside of us. Guys weren't in shooting lanes. And we're looking at 1-0 30 seconds in. But that, as I said at the start of the interview, that just comes from not being engaged and not being ready.
Of course, we've got a long trip to Cardiff tomorrow, but I just want to talk about the Sheffield game on Wednesday, what we've got to do to make up that deficit.
Well, it's a little bit like tonight, and it was kind of opposite. You know, for me, looking at those first two periods in Sheffield, that was two of our strongest periods of the year. The guys were fully engaged. We looked strong. We were getting scoring opportunities. We didn't look panicked. We didn't look rushed. And yes, there's fatigue, but everybody has a short roster. I mean, Sheffield were missing guys, so there was no reason for us to go off that. But once again, you've probably seen that those last couple goals were scored off an odd man rush. Once again, just guys, focusing on the puck rather than, playing as a 5-man unit out there. So much like tonight, I mean, I actually thought that we had a good opportunity to come back tonight. We looked strong. But, definitely up against it, especially against a first-place club.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.